Welcome to the Overstock Academy weekly podcast, where we help online sellers go from amateur sellers to elite online sellers in 8 weeks or less. We focus on finding on-sold name brand store Overstock products and reselling them online in places such as eBay, Amazon, Shopify, and even your own website. Overstock products are the same highly profitable name brand products that you know and trust, which basically means that if you do it right, they almost sell themselves. And the do it right part is what this podcast is all about. Today's episode was inspired by a question that frequently comes into the Overstock Academy support team. And that question is, why do we recommend starting with selling on eBay, then Amazon, then your own websites and other marketplaces when you're selling Overstock products? So I thought I would address this on air so I can provide some insight as to why we suggest that you start with eBay, expand to Amazon, and then grow into your website along with other marketplaces when selling Overstock products. Let me first start by saying this. Even up to the time I sold my business, eBay was still my top selling channel, next to Amazon. However, my websites weren't too far behind, and my websites were definitely doing much better than my other competitors. What I did was actually quite simple but very effective over time. Now, I can't go into detail in this episode, but if you sign up for the Ultimate Store Overstock course, you will see for yourself the simple 4-step framework that I used to build a 6-figure business. Now, if you have been listening to our podcast for a while, or maybe you are on our email list, you know that we are not salesy at all, and we just give you as much information as possible, and we let you decide if this is for you or not. And that is why in these podcasts, I don't really push you to join the course. However, this week, I got an email from a member of Overstock Academy who is fairly new to us. She said, "Hi, Amy. I know you guys don't really oversell this course too much, and that was one of the things I liked most. I didn't feel pressured to join this course at all, unlike other courses do. But I don't think you tell people enough how good and how different this course actually is, and you should. I've taken other courses, but this one is not like any of them. Usually they tell you stuff you already know. Your course, on the other hand, has taught me so much in so much detail that I'm sure I could never have learned this on my own, and I've been selling online for 2 years now. I actually watch the lessons over and over, and each time I pick up something else. I call it my selling encyclopedia. Thank you so much for sharing this information. Signed, Christina." So today I'm going to take Christina's advice and say that if you haven't checked out the course yet, do it. If you have signed up for the free 7-day trial and you didn't upgrade, don't wait. Go and do it now. In fact, if you have completed the 7-day trial and you are still on the fence, I'll make it a no-brainer for you. Go to overstockacademypodcast.com/119, then click on the chat feature. Ask there for the episode 119 coupon code. I'll give you a discount and a 30-day money-back guarantee. Okay, I'm done tooting my own horn. Let's continue with today's episode. So, like I was saying earlier, eBay was my top online selling channel. But here's the funny thing. When I got started, I didn't start on eBay. You know, just like today, everyone was talking about how great Amazon is and how eBay was dying and how only serious sellers sell on Amazon. You know how people who have tasted a little success start talking all intelligent. Well, this is exactly what was happening. Now, in a few minutes, I'm going to tell you how and why I ended up killing it on eBay and how you can too. And by the end of this episode, you will finally understand why I recommend starting on eBay first, even though I didn't. Now, both marketplaces, eBay and Amazon, provide a platform viewable by millions of users with a very user-friendly interface. Now, here's a quick recap before we proceed. If you remember in a previous episode, we discussed the various conditions that Overstock products come in. Now, these range from brand new to salvage. And if you remember, I told you to stay away from salvage, especially if you don't have the skill required to do any type of repairs. We also have discussed in a previous episode how to inspect and process your products, and this step is what you will use to determine what category your products will be listed under. Now, of all of the marketplaces, I will say that eBay is the most favorable for Overstock products. The main reason for this is the way eBay classifies their product condition options. Now, even though Amazon has greatly improved their product condition classifications just recently, eBay, in my opinion, still leads the pack in this aspect. So let's first briefly go over the eBay classifications. Now, for some of you who are already selling on eBay, this may sound redundant, but just stick with me here. In a few minutes, you will understand why this is important. Let's recap the conditions. First, they have a new category. This is self-explanatory, right? It's a brand new, unused, unopened, and undamaged item in its original packaging, where packaging is applicable. Packaging should be in the same state as it was found in the retail store. Then they have new other. Okay, this is a new, unused item with absolutely no signs of wear. The item may be missing the original packaging or in the original packaging but not sealed. They also have manufacturer refurbished. This is an item that has been professionally restored to working order by a manufacturer or a manufacturer-approved vendor. This means that the product has been inspected, cleaned, and repaired to meet manufacturer specifications and is in excellent condition. This item may or may not be in the original packaging. Then they have seller refurbished. Now this is the same as manufacturer refurbished, except that the item has been restored to working order by the eBay seller themselves or a third party who is not approved by the manufacturer. Then they have the used category. This is an item that has been used previously, and the item may show some signs of cosmetic wear, but is fully operational and functions as intended. The item may be a floor model or a store return that has been used, so this does not include store returns or display units that have no signs of use. This is very, very important for you to remember. Then they have for parts or not working, and this is an item that does not function as intended and is not fully operational. This is something that you would pretty much just sell for parts, right? Now, let us compare the eBay classifications that I just gave you to the Amazon classifications. So new for Amazon is just like it sounds, and it's the same as eBay. Then they have the certified refurbished, okay? This is a product that has been inspected and graded by a qualified manufacturer or a specialized third-party refurbisher to like new working condition with no visible cosmetic imperfections when held 12 inches away. The item is backed by a minimum 90-day limited warranty provided by the supplier, and the products may be packaged in a generic box and come with relevant accessories as expected for a new product, with exceptions, if any, they're going to be mentioned on the product detail page. Certified refurbished items are sometimes referred as pre-owned or open box product. Now, you see how specific that was? The next category is used/like new. Okay, this is apparently an untouched item in perfect condition. The original protective wrapping may be missing, but the original packaging is intact and pristine. There are absolutely no signs of wear on the item or its packaging. Instructions are included. An item is suitable for presenting as a gift. So this classification is what eBay would compare to as new other. The issue with this classification is simply this. It uses the word, quote, used. Now let me ask you this. As a buyer, are you more likely to buy an item classified as new other or used like new? Most of us would choose new other, right? Because you are expecting the quality to be higher. As a seller, though, this actually affects your selling price. You will command a higher selling price on eBay using the new other classification. Then Amazon has used/very good. This is a well cared for item that has seen limited use but remains in great condition. The item is complete, unmarked, and undamaged, but may show some limited signs of wear. Item works perfectly. Then they have used/good. The item shows wear from the constant use, but it remains in good condition and works perfectly. It may be marked, having identifying markings on it or showing other signs of previous use. And then, as this list continues, they have used/acceptable. This item is fairly worn but continues to work perfectly. Signs of wear can include aesthetic issues such as scratches, dents, and worn corners. The item may have identifying markings on it or show other signs of previous use. Now, as you can see, Amazon has 1, 2, 3, 4 levels of used. And here's the thing about that, Overstock Nation. In a buyer's mind, used is used, right? We can put lipstick, curls, and leggings on it, but it's still used, right? Do not expect a huge selling price difference between these 4 levels either. Now, as always, I'm not just blowing smoke here. Let me tell you how I figured this all out. Now, if you remember a few episodes ago, I told you how I found some highly profitable Sony wireless headphones, which I was paying about $45 each for. At the time, they were retailing for $149 brand new on eBay and about $155 on Amazon. Used ones on eBay were retailing for around $90 and on Amazon for about $75. Now, if you do the price research using the old school tactics all the gurus teach, it's easy to think that you will make more money by selling on Amazon, right? Here's the kicker. Sometimes, even with brand new Overstock products pulled from the store shelves and such, the packaging can get damaged. Now, these are brand new products, never left the store. Maybe a buyer opened them to see what it looked like and then put it back in the box and then back on the shelf. Or maybe they were mishandled and dropped, so the box has some damage, right? Maybe they were damaged in the warehouse or while they were being shipped to you. That was the condition that these Sony headphones were in when I got them. Most of them were brand new in the box, but the box itself was not sealed or it was ripped or dented. So now, as a seller, here comes the dilemma. Per the guidelines I just shared with you a few minutes ago, Amazon would have me list these as used like new. And the price I would have to sell them at to be competitive would be about $70. On the other hand, on eBay, these qualify to be listed as new other, in which case that would allow me to list them at just about $145. In my listing, I would then add a condition note telling the buyer the reason that they were being listed as new other and not new. The funny part is, today I am wiser, so I can tell you all that. But at the time, do you know what I did? Because I wanted to command a higher price point, I listed them as new with a note in the listing. And the note clearly stated the condition of the package. Now, as soon as I listed them, they were flying out. I mean, seriously, they were selling as fast as I was listing them. But a few days later, the messages started coming in. The box was crap, this must have been used, or this box wasn't sealed, these headphones must have been used. Plus, I was getting negative feedback at such a high rate that I was worried about my seller account being suspended. Now, rather than take the risk, I pulled the listing down. And after considering all of my options, I decided to list them on eBay. But I would do so with an abundance of caution, and I would dot all my I's and cross all my T's. So I listed a few at first using the new other classification just to see how it would go. They sold at about $145. Then I waited for the buyers to receive them and leave feedback before I could keep listing. Now, don't get me wrong, this was an agonizing wait. Plus, I was nervous because I still had almost 50 pieces of these left, and if I couldn't sell them on eBay, I was basically screwed. At the time, I still didn't have my website up and running yet. Almost 2 weeks later, I received the first buyer feedback. And it was positive. In fact, it was glowing. The buyer was so happy with the deal that he got and the quality. Finally, Overstock Nation, I was off to the races. Now, these headphones taught me a few important lessons. 1, don't dismiss any selling channel simply because other people are telling you to. 2, Overstock products will sell better on eBay. And 3, only list brand spanking new Overstock products on Amazon. Anything else and you are either risking slow sales or low profits. Now, a few important points to remember about the classifications that I gave you earlier. These are general guidelines. Not all the products that you receive can be sold within these categories. For example, some products like healthcare products, let's say toothbrushes, they cannot be sold as used, right? The marketplaces won't allow you to list them as used. Now, for more detail on that, simply just go to the marketplace itself and refer to the guides in their help center to find out what can be listed in what category. Now, here is the main difference between the two platforms as far as Overstock products are concerned. On eBay, a buyer can clearly see the item condition right on your listing. They see the actual product images from you. They can clearly scroll down and see your actual detailed item description for your specific item. The price is clear. Shipping and handling are estimated within the listing, so the buyer can easily calculate the shipping cost for that particular item to their location on their own. This allows the buyer to make the best informed decision that they can with a clear, detailed listing. eBay's category, that is New Other, allows us as sellers to keep our price competitive. They understand that not everything with an open box is necessarily, quote, used, right? You will find that you will use this category the most with Overstock products. Once again, here's the full description of the eBay New Other category, and I'm going to read this exactly as it is on their website. It states, a new, unused item with absolutely no signs of wear. The item may be missing its original packaging, or the original packaging has been opened or is no longer sealed. The item may be factory second or a new and unused item with minor defects. See the seller's listing for full details and description for any imperfections. So you can see here in the very last sentence that the buyer is being directed to your item description to find out if this item has any imperfections. This brings us to the next most important point. Your product description is very, very important, okay? It is the difference between getting a product returned or not, getting negative or positive feedback, and having seller protection or not. Your item description comes from a thorough product inspection using the steps that we show you in the Ultimate Store Overstock course. Again, for a free trial of the course, go to overstockacademypodcast.com/119 and click on the free trial link. Remember, we don't even ask for your credit card. It is a true free trial. Now that you understand that, here's the biggest reason I suggest that you start with eBay first when selling Overstock products. The first thing, when you start out, you need to rack up some sales fast. This New Other category will quickly become your new best friend. The second thing, you do not have this classification area within other market platforms. I mean, Amazon of late is trying to implement something similar with their warehouse deals in the case of FBA products and, quote, like new classification in the case of goods from third-party sellers. So there is some hope there. However, the issue is this. The display on Amazon for these categories is still not clear to the customer. So people are still buying these items thinking that they're new or that they are not even seeing them at all. Amazon recommends that the buyer contact any third-party seller that lists an item as, quote, open box to confirm what their terms mean for that seller, since definitions may vary. Now, can you see the issue there? Nobody is going to do that. In the Ultimate Store Overstock course, we walk you step by step on how to list an item on both eBay and Amazon. We also show you what to do when the item sells and completing the order by shipping the item. For the most part, those experiences don't differ too much. The thing is, eBay will allow you to get your feet wet and allow you to start mastering the system using our 4-step framework. Once you feel comfortable, confident, and capable, it's time to add Amazon to your selling channels. Now, I will tell you that Amazon is a very strict platform, okay? They pride themselves off the items third-party sellers sell on their site. When you list an item, however, the item is listed, your offering has to match the Amazon product catalog and their product detail page exactly, okay? Unlike eBay, Amazon does not have a gray area for product conditions. Like I said before, within the used category on Amazon, you have 3 levels, and your item can be considered used like new, used very good, used good, or used acceptable. The used like new category on Amazon description reads as follows. An apparently untouched item in perfect condition. Original protective wrapping may be missing, but the original packaging is intact and pristine. There are absolutely no signs of wear on the item or its packaging. Instructions are included. Item is suitable for presenting as a gift. Now you see there how there's no room for your outside packaging to have any type of blemishes. There's also no redirect for the potential buyer so they know where to look for more information. And there's also a lot of room for mistakes to happen. Even if you add an additional note for your buyer that states your packaging has a dent, this does not cover you if the buyer simply does not see that note. And you and I know how little people actually read anything, let alone read the item description, right? The buyer could receive the item, open it, get pissed, and file a complaint, and you will lose because the Amazon product condition will override your additional notes every single time. You see how that works? There is no wiggle room there. On Amazon, you are listing your item as either new or used pretty much. And that's a huge reason why sometimes it simply pays just to not list your items on Amazon if it needs additional description notes or more pictures, or just simply not brand new. Another huge downfall with Amazon when selling Overstock products is that Amazon does not make it easy for the buyers to see the used listings in general. Even when they find the listing, it's complicated as to how the buyer is supposed to see additional photos of the item or additional notes that you have added about the item itself. Basically, in a nutshell, it's not user-friendly for someone searching for anything other than a brand new item. So with the Overstock products, I do not suggest starting with Amazon. It is not the best platform for these types of products. And until you have mastered the ins and outs of selling Overstock products online, it's smart to use the Amazon platform to sell new unopened item when it makes sense to do so. Now, I don't want this to give you a bad taste in your mouth about Amazon. This can be a place you save your best new items for to avoid any confusion to potential buyers. Now, finally, I would suggest growing into your own website. Now, this may seem scary for a lot of people. When you think about a website, you think about everything involved from creating and designing it to managing your products. In fact, that is the sales pitch that these big marketplaces use to get you to stay with them. However, any seasoned online seller will tell you you are not truly free until you are selling and selling well for that matter on your own website. And that's just a fact. The truth is that selling on a marketplace is like swimming in your neighbor's pool, right? You're always nervous, when you splash water over the side, or when you belly flop, or you pee in the pool and you start looking around to see if it'll turn dark blue, right? So you are always walking on eggshells. You could be kicked down at any time. Also, they could change the rules on you whenever they decide to. And one day you're allowed to use their towels. The next day you're walking home soaking wet because you're no longer allowed to use their towels. Let's put it this way. The marketplace always does what's best for the marketplace, not what's best for you, even though you pay your seller fees. The only way to free yourself is to build your own pool. This, in fact, can be done very easily. In the Ultimate Store Overstock course, we show you exactly how to set this up step by step. Now, without going into much detail regarding how to build a website, I'll just say that there are services that offer websites that have pre-built templates. You pick a template, plug in your info, and it's as easy as dragging your selections and dropping them where you want them. And you're ready to rock and roll. It can easily be done just that quickly. There are huge benefits when you have your own website, and the truth is you can start creating a website at any point of your business journey, but it's not the place where I would suggest you start selling first. The reason for this is because the major online marketplaces already have traffic going to their sites, right? I mean, millions of people are using these sites on a daily basis. Now, when you just create your website, nobody knows your website just yet. What I eventually did and what we show you in the Ultimate Store Overstock course is this. I set my marketplaces up in such a way that they actually drove sales and traffic to my own sites. Now, I'm not going to hold anything back for you. I want to share all of that information and how to do that as well. But due to time, we're not going to be able to cover that on today's episode. I do promise, though, to go into detail about how you can accomplish all of that in a future episode. Now, to check out a free trial of the Overstock course, just go to overstockacademypodcast.com/119, then click on the link at the bottom of the page. That's going to take you to the free 7-day trial. Now, like I said before, we don't even ask for your credit card to access the trial. It is a true free trial, and it's totally worth checking out. We are here to take you from selling slow-moving, low-demand products to in-demand name-brand products. We show you techniques that, if done right, your products will basically sell themselves. That is how we will take you from an amateur online seller to an elite online seller in just 8 weeks or less.